Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Holistically Branded. This is an Instagram Live series that I've been doing where we talk about branding from a 360-degree view. Today is going to be such a good episode. So I'm bringing in a past client of mine. I love her to death. She's fabulous, and we're just going to chat through her experience of doing my package called Branding and Website in a Week. And so stick around and wait for Saren to join, and then we are going to chat about it. Hello, everybody. Thank you all for joining. It's going to be a really great episode today, so stick around. Once we get Saren in here, we're going to chat about why she chose Branding and Website in a Week, what the experience was like for her, what it was like working with me, and really just about like how Branding and Website in a Week has impacted her business and is going to help her business achieve her goals. Okay, I see that she just joined, so let's get her in here and so we can chat about branding and website in a week and her experiences with it. So let's see if I can make Instagram work this time. Saren, if you're still on here, do you want to just go ahead and request to join, and then I'll try and get you in that way. So for anyone who is new to my community, new to my space, I have a package called Branding and Website in a Week. This is my favorite offer because I get to work with one person, one business for an entire week and really just focus on them and get to know them so deeply and build them a brand and a website that they absolutely love. And so she was just a dream client. We had such a good time building her website. Oh, yay, she's here. Hello.
Thanks, so happy to be here.
How are you? I'm so happy to have you. I was just giving a little intro explaining that we're going to be talking about branding and website in the week today. But everybody, this is Saren.
Yeah,
I'm
Saren.
probably not right. Okay, good. Oh my gosh. I just realized, well, you pointed out that I was saying it wrong in my stories, and I am so sorry, but Saren rhymes with Karen. So glad to have you here. Oh my goodness. So if anyone doesn't know Saren, she is like one of the best humans I think I've ever met in this online space. She has a great coaching program and just really helps people live their fairy tale lives. And I always like love following you because A, you are living like a perfect example of fairy tale life, and then B, like your clients just like are in tears and are always saying the nicest things about you. And so it's just really great to know you and to have you as a client of mine. It was so great. So do you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yes. So my name is Saren Eads, and I'm a emotional wealth life coach, meaning I help you have the energy to be able to actually enjoy your life while you also create more time and financial freedom. So like that emotional wealth where you get to feel wealthy in everything that you do while going after your big goals. And it is such a blast. Like Izzy said, I help live your fairy tale life, and it looks different for each person. So you can kind of think about what does that look like for you. And for me, it is moving back to the island where I went to college, and we are now back on Oahu and Hawaii in a brand new home that was just built, and we moved in just a couple weeks ago, and it is so lovely. We love it a lot. I have a beautiful view of the mountains. I'm right in the valley, and then we're only 5 minutes down to the water. You can see it from my house. It's amazing.
Oh my goodness, I know. I've been seeing your photos of it, and it truly looks like a dream house. So I'm so happy for you guys that you finally got to move in and everything.
Yeah.
That is so exciting.
Yeah, last time I talked to you, I was in my in-laws' guest room, which is so fun.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Big difference from dancing around in the living room to Ed Sheeran to living with the in-laws. Good. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. So, okay, so we did my package called Branding Website in a Week like 2 months ago, a month ago now. I don't even know. I feel like spring has like gone so fast. But it's this package where I do your branding and your website all in 1 week. And in 5 days, we establish your brand identity, create a logo, and launch a website. And so it's a really fast but really fun process. So I just want to talk to you about it and just see what you thought about it live. So feel free to speak your mind. That's what this is about. But my first question for you is just in general, like what really inspired you to hire a brand and website designer
I
for this point in your
hadn't built a
business?
website for 2 years of running my business, and I was making multiple six figures at that point, thinking like, okay, I think it's probably time to have a place where people can come and get a transformation just from reading the words. Because most of the time they have to talk to me. And as much as I love talking to all the humans that come and interact with me, I wanted them to have another touch point where they can get to know the business and get to know me as a brand and understand more of what I do, because sometimes it's scary to reach out to somebody one-to-one and be like, what do you do exactly? So they can go and just read the page and get a lot more information. And so my goal was really for them to have a transformation on the page.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And so there's obviously a sea of website and brand designers out there. We met each other through like a really fun experience. I feel like we like first, I don't know, we're just like chatting as business friends first before we even got to that point. So what really led you to being like, okay, I want to work with
Actually,
Izzy.
like
This is
this
where
is
I want
so
to move
important to me
forward.
because I initially already had a website getting built, and it was not going the direction that I wanted, but I didn't know what I wanted. And so that was the hardest thing. I think a lot of us entrepreneurs, we have a vision for what we want, but we have no idea how to put it into words. And so when I met you, Izzy, you were talking about how your
Yeah.
favorite thing is to put somebody's personality and represent it into a digital website. And I was like, that sounds like what I need, because you're able to ask me the questions that like I would need to answer in order to find out who I am and how to represent that digitally. And so I actually had to say, like, I'm actually going to go a different direction with the different website designer. And they were doing a fantastic job. It's not that. I just really wanted to support a woman-led business who also saw my vision equally to how I saw my vision. You're so aesthetically pleasing. Like, I knew it was going to be beautiful. The questions that you were asking me, even when we were just talking as friends, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's what I want in a website and brand designer.
I'm so glad. And like it's so true. Like I'm not the perfect fit for everybody out there either. And I think that's why it's so important to really like chat with website designers or brand designers, because you kind of have to have a little bit of
Yeah,
chemistry so that they can get the right look and really get you into
me
it. And
too.
so, yeah, I'm so glad that we got to meet and just do that and build that connection really
Yeah,
before we flipped over to like working together. So it was
I
like a beautiful way that
totally agree.
it turned out,
Yeah, it
I
was
think.
fun. Yeah, go ahead.
Um,
I was just gonna say it
no,
was
you
so
go
fun
ahead. What were you
to
gonna say?
do the process with you as well, because of how much we connect. When we were first talking, we're like, wait, we're like the same person. Like we love burnt oranges and yeah, just like so many similarities. And so it was really fun to connect and get to know each other. So it was the most fun branding process I think I could have ever gone through.
I'm so glad. That was okay, so that's great because that was kind of my next question is like the process. I feel like sometimes when people hear like, okay, branding a website in a week, they're like, holy cow, that's kind of crazy. That sounds intense. But what was the actual process like of doing that week and getting,
Yeah, so
the
I'll
brand
start
new
with
website by the end
the
of the week?
initial, like the beginning part was I had to do a lot of the writing of my copy. I mean, of course, you could hire your own copywriters, but because I wanted people to have a transformation, I wanted to be the person offering it to them when they read the words on my page. And
Yeah.
so I spent some time writing out my copy. And then you mentioned like it might take longer than you think. And then I was like halfway through, I'm like, this is taking longer than I think. So then I gave it another weekend to be able to accomplish it. But I was able to get most of the copy done. I had like some testimonials to finish and things like that before we even got to meet. And so I loved how you gave me, it was like a digital like document where I could just fill in the gaps or fill in where I wanted to put things. And I could write any comments I had, like if I wanted to add a different page here or another page here, and just like look at what it would look like. And I loved already having a good template for that because it made it easier to understand like where is my things going and where do I want them to like land on the page. And so that was super helpful. And so we started with that, and then we were able to meet together. And this was my favorite part. This is when we met and you were like, okay, what they ask so many brilliant questions about me and like why, what my mission and my purpose is, and like why I'm trying to help people. And I've always thought like, oh, it's so hard to like put a mission into words. But when you ask me those questions, you help me put my mission into words so much simpler and easier than I could have ever imagined. That sound eloquent and beautiful and classy and like just
Mm,
like I
good.
am. And again, it was just bringing my personality out into the words, but also into the colors, also into the branding, also into the photos, also into the movement of the website. Remember, that was a big important thing for me too, is that there's movement on my website. So it doesn't just feel really
Yeah.
corporate and boxy, but like a space you can come to that's almost like
Hmm.
aesthetic and beautiful and like a photographer's website, but really it's just about
Yeah. Yeah. Like an
exactly. Yeah.
experience in itself
And
on just the
so then
website.
as we kept going throughout the
Yeah.
process, you would ask me if you needed more things here and there. We would approve the branding. It took us a while to figure out fonts for me, and you were so patient because that was one of those things where I'm like, I like them. I just don't know what's like a real yes. And that was another one of my favorite parts was you're like, is it a no or is it a like absolute yes? And if it's not an absolute yes, it's probably a no. And so you help me like no, because I'm like, I like it. You're like, is it a love though? And I'm like, you're right. I don't think that's a love. And
Hmm.
as patient as you were with that process to help me find what I loved, it turned out that I really, really loved it.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. I was recently doing a podcast with another past client of mine, and she was like, "You're honestly
Yes.
like a brand therapist. Like people that have no idea, you like help them pick through their brains." And I was like, maybe I should
Yes,
like
that
actually
could
go
not be
by
more
that. I
true.
don't know. Did you feel good? But I just love that because, like, I mean, when you're not a designer, it's hard to really put moods and feelings into like fonts and colors. But for me, it's like, oh, of course, like I can see this feeling is this font because it just like that's how my brain works. And so, being able to like sit with someone like you who's so passionate and has all this like heart inside them, it was actually like such a fun process for me to like be able to pull that out and like create something that I felt like really represented that because you have such a bright personality and like a lovely bubble around you that it was like so fun to bring that into a design and like use that to create the aesthetic. So
Yes,
I
I
had just
love
as much
to
fun
hear
as you
that.
did, I think.
It was really incredible. And another big part of the process, and for anybody that's like on the fence, but like thinking they don't have the time or want to add it later, I had a family tragedy happen halfway through our working together in between our week. And it was one of those things where I'm like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I had to take a break. I was now work like watching my daughter all on my own because my husband had to go and be with his family. And it
Mm-hmm.
turned into like a chaotic personal life moment, and yet we were able to slow down what I was working on. We were able to like you were able to take so many things off of my plate and just like guesstimate like what you think I would want and just like add it in anyways. We were able to add things later if we needed to. It just became such an easy simple process even when my life felt like it was falling apart. And I just have to like thank you as well for being the person. I was like, wait, first of all, are you okay? Second of all, we can work on this later. Like, you tell me what you need. And that was the first time I was like, wait, I can take what I need. Let me really think about it. And for me, it was like, I think I felt capable of like slowing down for a few days and then adding and finishing. I think we still finished by Friday, but I don't think I launched for myself and my business
Mm-hmm.
until a couple weeks later, just so I could like set some other things up
Yeah.
first and like let my clients know about it personally and different things like that. And then I was able to launch later after I was going through a lot of grief. And holding that space for me, again,
Yeah.
you're a brand therapist. You were able to hold that space for me and be like, you know what, it's okay. If you need more time, take it. And if you don't need more time, we're good. We can keep cruising. And I just really appreciate that process. So even though I had way less time, we were still able to finish by Friday, which is amazing. Because I think that a lot of the front loading that we do and that you
Yeah.
invited me to do with putting in all the copy ahead of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I mean, no matter what I'm doing in life or what the project is, I feel
Yeah,
like a person comes first. And that's why like I don't know, I like working with people that like you who like they are the
yeah,
person of their business and like life happens. And I think that we all just
yeah.
have to understand that. But yeah, we were able to still finish. And I think you're right. There was a lot of just having some of the work done prior, that kind of like allowed me to I already kind of knew who you were because we had done the meeting in the beginning of the week. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I feel like I can kind of move forward and continue to get this done while making sure, like, yeah, you were taking care of yourself and your daughter, because obviously that's the priority of that space first. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
unfortunate, but I think that we still made a
Yeah.
website and a
Yeah.
brand that you were excited about.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Which is
still
what,
success, I'd
like, I
say.
thought, I'm like, no way I'm gonna be able to finish this. Like, at first, I was just kind of like, yeah, this is gonna be put on hold for a little bit. Like, I don't know if I can do it. And then when I saw how much you had accomplished, I'm like, we got this. Like, we can do this. And then when you said it really is a brand that I love, like, I cherish it. It is so me. It is so cool, you guys, to see me in a digital representation and to be like, that's me though. Like, not somebody else that I admire. It's like I admire the digital representation of
Mhm.
me so much. So I'm like, wait, that's me. It's so cool.
Good. I'm so happy. So, okay, so obviously, like, it's really cool that you have this now, but how do you feel like this brand and this website is going to help you achieve your business goals? Because at the end of the day, that's like the main part of this. And so, like, what are some things that, you're like, okay, now I'm ready to achieve this, or this is going to help me do
Yeah.
this? Do you feel like you have some of those
Yeah, so
things going on in your
I'm
business world
building
right
a
now?
group program because I've watched my one-to-one clients all have very similar thoughts while they're getting coached on different topics and different things. And while I watch them have similar thoughts, I'm like, I think it would be amazing if they knew they weren't the only ones thinking this and that there are other people that are thinking this as well that
Mm,
they would admire. And so I think it's so healing to be like, the
yeah.
people I admire also have similar brains, which means we can all create things that we admire and that we're inspired by. And so I'm putting together a group mastermind of 15 people. I have a couple spots already sold and I haven't even launched yet. It's so fun. And we're going to meet in Cabo, or not Cabo,
So
sorry, we're going to meet
good.
in Mexico for a live in-person retreat to kick off and build a ton of connection and then coach for 6 months weekly in that small group setting. And
Hmm.
having a website to describe that compared to what I have been doing, my one-to-one, is so helpful because I can just send it to people and be like, look at this beautiful thing. It explains everything you could ever need. And let me know what you think. And it's so much easier than, like, it gives people something that I visually see in my brain and puts it out on paper for them. And it just is so
Yeah.
helpful because they don't have to read my mind, they can see it.
Yeah, which honestly, like, if anyone's watching live or watching the replay, go check out her website about this group masterclass. Because even when I was designing it, I was like, oh my gosh,
It's gonna
this
be
is
so
gonna be
fun.
incredible. Like, it is gonna be a vibe. And the mood board and stuff you were sending me, I was like, holy cow, this is gonna be a great masterclass. So if anyone is looking for an amazing coach and masterclass and a
Yeah.
Mexico experience, go check out her website right now, because yeah, you're right. We have it all laid out there for everyone to see. And you
So
haven't
I
even launched it yet. So
start,
when are you actually launching that?
I was actually going to start like soft launching today, but going into next week. So yeah, now's the perfect time.
Okay. Oh, you heard it here first, guys. Soft launch. That's super exciting. And so, you kind of already mentioned this part too, but if someone were kind of on the fence about hiring a brand or website designer, just in general, not necessarily me, but they're like, okay, I think I see the value in a website, but I'm not really sure if I'm ready for that. What has this experience kind of helped you see
Yeah,
about moving forward
because
with a
I
website?
again made multiple six figures without a website, just based off of Instagram and connection. And
Mhm.
at first, when I first started, I thought it would mean that I wasn't professional enough to not have a website. And when I
Mm,
realized that, I'm like, wait, I can be professional without it. Like, I can be extraordinary without it. Then I was able to build the self concept of being extraordinary without having to have all the my ducks in a row first. And so, adding a website
yeah.
to that way of thinking and knowing that this is just another way to expand how extraordinary I already am is super helpful. And so, if you're thinking that you need
Yeah.
a website before you can be successful, you don't. But it just catapults the success that you already believe in yourself and you already have for yourself and adds a digital layer to it where you're able to view exactly what you want and represent exactly what you want for your audience so that they can have another touch point with you without you having to be there. And I think
Mm,
with Instagram getting so busy and TikTok getting a lot more busy as well, it's important to have your own space. And what I love about this is it's mine. Like nobody could take it if Instagram
mm.
crashed or if I get blocked again for different reasons. Like it is, it is completely mine. mine. Like no one can take it away, and I can continue doing that. It's also a really great way to capture emails because people can come onto my site and be able to put their email in, get a freebie, and then also be able to come be a part of my world in my email work as well, not just on Instagram. So it's a really great way to expand my platform and expand my influence and have other people be able to expand their lives, which is so cool.
Oh, I love all of that. And like it's so true. I think you like nailed it because you can definitely be successful without an Instagram. I mean,
Yeah.
there's countless or without a website. There's countless examples of that. But I think the point that you are so right about is like the expansion, the next step. It's like you get to a point in your Instagram where, okay, we have all the clients, but we're ready to like maybe build a mastermind or build a membership or like continue to grow. Websites are a great tool to help you expand, help you have another touch point, help you reach more people because yeah, you don't have to have one-to-one calls all the time. You can send them your website and be like, no, come join my community. And that's such a great way to say it. And I know that there's like a huge debate right now of like, do I need a website? Do I not need a website? And so I feel like that would be really valuable for people who are kind of like, oh, I don't really know. So I'm so excited to see that help you grow. And yeah, you already have so many amazing, great things happening in your business right now. And I was going to end this by, giving you a chance to talk about all those amazing things that you're doing in your business right now, which I feel like we've touched on. And you got a soft launch coming up of your membership. What else is going on? What other amazing wins do you have? You
We're
want
just
to share
living
what's
in
going on
my
in your
dream
world?
house because we spent the last 16 months waiting for it to be built. And I imagined it, you guys. Like I like had it in my brain and I would spend time there often. It is almost nearly exactly the way I imagined, but that much better than I imagined, which is so cool to see like how powerful our brains are that like we can create experiences that we want to have. And so I remember being terrified. I'll just offer too. I was terrified of my move and terrified of all the things that were going to happen. And it's really far. It's really different, like lots of things. And I remember thinking and getting coached on this that it could actually be better than I imagined. And I was like, why couldn't my launch be better than I imagined too? Like, why couldn't living and moving and finding furniture on an island be better than I imagined? And like, yes, there are things that are challenging and things that we weren't expecting and road bumps, but there's also just extraordinary things happening all around us every single day. And so to be able to drive my mind that direction to look at how it could be extraordinary and how it is becoming extraordinary is so helpful for me. And I think it could be really helpful for other people as well. And so I'm like living in, it almost feels like sacred to be living in my home and like enjoying it and dancing and just like setting it up and just having so much fun in it. It feels just like one of the most blissful things that I've been like building my life towards for the last few years.
That is so amazing and magical, and I'm like so excited for you. Just even like seeing your videos on Instagram and your stories like gives me joy because I know that it's just like something you've been working for and I'm excited for. And I remember like us chatting about it. We had like a few different chats, and every time you were like, "Oh, I'm getting closer to moving to Hawaii." So it's so cool to see you like actually doing that and like truly living a fairy tale life. You're not just like fluff talker, like you walk the walk and it's amazing to see and witness. So congrats on that, and thanks so much for coming and chatting with me and just being part of my community and my world. You're always just a ray of light to see, so
It's
I really
so
appreciate you
fun
coming here
to
and
know
chatting
you,
with me.
first of all, and it's so fun to be in your world, and it's so fun to come on here and chat with you and let other people know the power of working with you, and also just like how incredible it is to know you, which is so fun.
Mm. Back at you. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for joining me,
Yeah,
and
I would love
we'll
to.
have to chat again soon, obviously, because now
Yeah, we're just
you're
good
never
friends
disappearing
now.
from my life.
Yeah,
We're
it's
just
so fun.
connected.
See you.
Yeah.
You're
All
welcome.
right.
Bye,
See you.
Izzy.
Thank you so much.